Well, we finally got our answers to our deep questions about Asta's origin. Sit back and relax. Welcome back, guys. This is your boy Anime Mega Reviews, and today we got Black Clover chapter 268. The fan translation just came out, but this is just a disclaimer. This is only the fan translation, and I would advise anyone that is watching this video to go read the Viz translation on Monday or Friday, whenever the official one comes out. But I just gotta say, we really just got a lot of answers. And some of the things you're really gonna have to like draw lines to some conclusions, but overall, I think it's pretty good. So the chapter opens up with the anti-magic devil just going into this flashback. And I gotta say, after reading this chapter, this guy really has PTSD. And it's not for any reason. And this is the one thing that I just noticed about his face here. It's clear that there's just a lot of emotion and turmoil that has really went into just his battle with Asta, because all Asta had just said was that just because he's a devil doesn't mean that he's just a scumbag. And so obviously he feels some type of way about this. It's a very emotional setting, and it's really good to see that Yuki Tabata is just really giving a very good backstory for the anti-magic demon, because it's very sad. So pretty much the chapter really starts off with the anti-magic demon giving this inner monologue on his history. He says that in the underworld, the devil ranks are given before birth. So really there's just no point in changing it. And the superior devils, they pretty much bully and abuse the lower ranked devils. And even those lower ranked devils abuse other lower ranked devils. And he says because he had no mana, he was just abused every single day. And who knows how long the anti-magic demon was just, born and in the underworld, but I just assume that possibly as recently. I know that some have suspected that the anti-magic demon is not that old, and I think this just gives evidence for that theory as well, because this guy was getting abused like every single day. And because some of these demons couldn't get out into the human world to quote unquote play with the humans, which really means just wreak havoc and just pretty much destroy humanity, they just result to just abusing these other demons. And literally the anti-magic demon has said that he was the lowest in all of the underworld, like literally the lowest. And that's something that is pretty hard for me just to believe, because if we look at the anti-magic demon and just his powers and all that type of stuff, this guy is pretty OP. And I know that his power may not be considered overpowered compared to the other demons, but just the fact that he's able just to compete in just a short amount of time is just pretty incredible. So the anti-magic demon then goes on to say that a high-ranking devil who was in a bad mood threw him up to the gate in hope that his body would just shatter. And that is just something that, man, the demons in the underworld are just really cutthroat. And I know that obviously they're demons, but just the stuff that they were doing to this guy every single day, it's no wonder why he lost his marbles when Lucifero had defeated Asta, or rather Dante, enhanced by Lucifero, had defeated Asta, because for the anti-magic demon, he hates every single demon, because obviously he just experienced all this trauma. And the anti-magic demon then goes on to say that he just suddenly made it out of the human realm, and he doesn't exactly necessarily know how, but he was just there, and he was extremely weak. And this is something that really, I really want to know more about the underworld. Like, do demons have parents? How are they born? We know that these demons are a different race, but what is really going on here? Where's the love at in the underworld for real? Like legitly. And we know that Lucifero, he is definitely top dog. I think this just confirms that he's just top dog, period. As the chapter really progresses, we see that the anti-magic demon, as soon as he gets into the human realm, he doesn't really want to bother the humans. He really just wants to be left alone. And even the humans, they look at him and they're just disgusted, and they want to call the magic knights to just, pretty much kill the anti-magic demon. And something that's really interesting right here is that the anti-magic demon was so weak that literally regular magic knights could kill him at this time. And that's something that's very telling. So obviously demons aren't so powerful when they're born. They need time to grow. They need time to mature, just like humans and just like elves. So it's a pretty telling factor that the anti-magic demon literally could have been killed by somebody as strong as Ghost or maybe even Charlotte, for instance, if he actually was captured by the Magic Knights, because he didn't really reach his full potential yet. And just in these latest chapters, if he's only like 16 or however old he is, or if his age is the same thing with Asta, and he hasn't even reached his full potential, I can imagine how it is going to be when he turns to like, I don't know, like 40 or something like that. So then we get the big factor in this chapter is that he meets Asta's mom. And no, I'm not going to pronounce her name because granted, I'm going to hear somebody else say it. I tried to so many times when I was just making this video. I'm like, look, this is just going to have to be Asta's mom. And even after me reading this chapter, I just know for a fact that this is his mother. And Asta's mom, she pretty much just takes the anti-magic demon in, and she literally says, you're no threat to me because you don't have any mana. And that is just so cool about Asta's mom, is that although she knows for a fact that demons are ostracized and demons are pretty bad, she looks at this guy and says, well, you're not that bad at all. And it's really cool is that Yuki Tabata just really dropped some clues right here, is that she said the other day she picked up the 5-leaf clover grimoire and I actually met a devil. And there's that same legend that says that within a 5-leaf clover grimoire, a devil resides. And it's pretty cool that Yuki Tabata kind of like connected these two things together. And I think that kind of like broke some theories that as soon as a 5-leaf clover grimoire is born, that a demon is born inside of it. Obviously, there wasn't a demon inside of this grimoire at first, and she just picked it up and was just chilling. Now, how did this grimoire suddenly just end up into the hands of Asta's mother? I have no idea. I really do think that because there's going to be more to the story than meets the eye, possibly someone may have like set that up. There may be somebody behind the scenes besides the anti-magic demon and Asta's mother. And Asta's mother, she goes into great detail about the condition that she currently has. Her magic power actually takes either mana or vital energy of anything nearby. And in this way, she is literally just like Henry. Like literally, guys, they have the same exact power. Like, I would not have guessed this. And the real cool part about all of this is that they just form this mother and son relationship, and it just works perfectly throughout the whole entire chapter. Because if you think about this, the anti-magic demon came from a society where his own race had just rejected him because he had no mana. And at the same time, where we look at Asta's mom, she literally suffered the same exact thing. And I'm going to get to that a little bit later in the video. But I will definitely say this, is that she suffers from the same social isolation that Henry had suffered, that because she's dangerous to be around, she has to be a loner, because she's literally a danger for anyone that's nearby. She's either taking their mana or their life energy. And that's something that's pretty big, because Henry, I don't believe that he can take life energy. However, she can. And that's something that's very dangerous, because that could literally like kill someone. And in this relationship, she tells the anti-magic demon that just because you're a devil does not mean that you are a bad guy. And that's something that's pretty deep, because she's giving him a new identity. Because if you think about the anti-magic demon, for as long as he's been in the human realm, everyone had just ostracized him. Not only is he getting rejected by the demons, but the other humans that he's around, who he really doesn't even want to hurt them, they automatically look at him, because he's a demon, they just want to kill him. So he was always out on the run. This dude probably ran into some magic knights, was almost killed. He's just a pest or a nuisance that everyone wants to just get rid of, even his own race. And yet Asta's mother is the main one to just show him love. And that's real cool. And that is when Asta's mother, she goes into greater detail about her isolation. She says, because you saved me from being a loner. Thank you, Rib. Now, I'm not really sure what the official translation for Asta's anti-magic demon's name is, but I mean, here it says Rib. I read that the translation for that means love. So that's pretty awesome to see that. But apparently, yes, as I said before, because of her condition, she cannot be around anyone, period. And she had lived in a separate house separately from the village. And I know that's like a mouthful, like she lived in a separate house separately from the village. I'm not exactly sure which kingdom that she's in, though. It doesn't really say it. However, tragedy just strikes. The anti-magic demon, he just pauses. And Asta's mother, she realized that something is very wrong. Something is very disturbing. And I would have to admit, when I first saw the spoilers, I just assumed that somehow maybe the anti-magic demon had lost control of his powers. And I'm actually happy to say that he didn't lose control of his powers, because that would be something that would be extremely horrifying, even for him. Like, I think that that would just break him mentally, even worse than what he was in this chapter. However, just the unthinkable happens. Lucifero, we have underestimated his power. Us, the audience, us, the fans, have underestimated his reach. Lucifero, all the way down from the underworld, was able to hijack the anti-magic demon's body. And this is something that I was really just surprised with, because he even says that, there hasn't really been a demon that has got into the human world. And I don't think at this time that he really knows about Zagrid. Or maybe he does know about Zagrid. It's kind of weird because we know that Zagrid entered to the human world before Lucifero. How does Lucifero even? Could that possibly be a plot hole? I have no idea. But Lucifero, he literally is like talking through the anti-magic demon's body, and he says he didn't think it was possible for a devil to be in the human world without forming a contract. And that is when Lucifero, he wants to just take over. However, Asta's mom is not going like that. Like, she's not a weak woman. Lucifero, she tries to grab onto her, and she grabs back, and he's like, what? This woman is absorbing my mana. I mean, like, this is just incredible. Like, Asta's mom has feats, bro. Like, she is legitly powerful. She is so powerful at absorbing mana that she is literally absorbing mana from Lucifero, who is all the way down in the underworld. And she literally pushes back and says, you cannot take this child. But Lucifero's like, look, I can handle you. It don't matter what you throw at me. And he latches out against her, and he just stabs her right in her stomach. Man, look, y'all, when I saw this, I gotta admit, y'all, almost teared up right here, because literally she just meets with the anti-magic demon. They form this relationship, this mother and son relationship, and this is all just taken away in just an instant. But the biggest thing right here, and why this means so much, is that right here, if you look in this top right-hand corner, you can see maybe a younger Asta's mom leaving a basket with a baby. And I'm just going to come out and just say this, you guys. I think that the reason why Asta doesn't have any mana is literally because of his mother's condition. Possibly because as Asta was forming in the womb, she was sucking the life energy out of Asta and the mana. So much so to the point that Asta was born without mana, and that she had to get rid of Asta, or otherwise he would definitely die. And this is something that she really was bothered by, obviously. I mean, a mother having to leave her own child because of her own condition that she just can't control. And then she tells the anti-magic demon that she's going to seal him in the 5-leaf clover grimoire. So obviously Asta's mom, she's powerful, like she knows some things. And she says to the anti-magic demon that eventually when you come out, you are going to be stronger. And that is when we get that final scene where she says, my beloved son. Look, y'all, this was a pretty much emotional chapter, and it ends off with the anti-magic demon says, look, I'm going to get whatever I want to get. I'm going to kill Lucifero, even if it means taking your body away. He says this to Asta. So pretty much, guys, that wraps up this emotional chapter. I thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, comment down below and tell me what you guys loved about this video. Look, guys, let's get this comment section jumping. There's just a lot to talk about. New revelations, new spoilers, new answers to our questions, and maybe even some more questions. Who knows? But anyway, make sure you guys stay safe out there, and peace.